hone them, and be a productive, efficient, and effective person, individual. So I want you guys to grow holistically. So that is the main objective of this lecture. So there, Muhammad Ali. How many of you know the great Muhammad Ali? So, so Muhammad Ali, he has given a beautiful quote. It is a very big speech, actually. I've condensed it. So, if you can take it down, if you can take a note of it, please do. It is he has given ingredients for a satisfied or a successful life. So, what are the ingredients for a satisfied and a successful life? So, a successful or a satisfied life requires few cups of love, few cups of love, 1 tablespoon of patience, 1 tablespoon of patience, 1 teaspoon of humility, 1 teaspoon of humility, 1 pint of kindness, 1 pint of kindness, 1 quarter of laughter, 1 quarter of laughter, 1 pinch of concern, 1 pinch of concern, and then he mixed willingness with happiness, and then he mixed willingness with happiness, and he added lots of faith, and he added lots of faith, and he stirred it up well, and then he spread it over the span of his life, and he served it to each and every deserving individual. So that is the objective. So that is the true purpose of life, is to spread happiness, is to spread our knowledge, is to inform everybody, to be happy, to spread happiness, to spread positivity. So that is the basic objective, that's the main purpose, to help people know who are, to help destitutes, to be humble, to respect everyone, to share our knowledge. So that is, these are the most important things that we have to remember in order to succeed. And most importantly, we need patience, perseverance, and faith, and willingness to do. So all these together, they'll make us successful. Okay. So please take it down. Today, I'm not going to give any presentation. So it will be completely oral communication. So please take note. And if you want me to stop somewhere, I'll stop, and I'm definitely ready to repeat it also. So we'll start with what communication is. So communication is exchange of information. Communication is exchange of ideas. There are two classifications of communication. See, remember that proficiency doesn't matter. The most important objective of communication is to make others understand. They should be able to comprehend what you're trying to say. That is the main objective. You need not speak in American accent. You need not speak in British accent. You need not impress anyone. The most important thing is to inform and to make them understand. So that is the main objective. So in communication setup, you have a sender, you have a message, you have a channel, and you have a receiver. So the sender sends the message through the channel to the receiver. So similarly, before sending the message, you have to make an idea, that is ideation. And then you have to encode. So encoding means, because we think in our mother tongue, so we have to translate it into English, and then we have to give it a proper structure and format. That is called encoding. So after encoding, you transmit it through your vocal cords or through your body gestures. Okay. After that, it travels through the channel, that is air medium or different other media that we are using, and then it goes to the receiver. The receiver receives it through his ears, through his eyes, or through his sense organs, and then he decodes it, he understands it, and then finally he gives feedback. So communication is a cyclical process. So it is a circular process. So it is not just about one person speaking and putting his heart out. Everybody should be able to participate in communication. Everybody should be able to respond, not just through words but also through your body language. So this is very important. Remember, communication is interactive. I always tell my students, make the lecture interactive. See, I don't want to be the center of attraction. I want everybody to be involved. It has to be a participative discussion. So that is very important. So that is the main objective. So communication has two classifications. So according to the first classification, communication is divided into many types. The first type is intrapersonal communication. So in intrapersonal communication, only one person is involved. Okay. So how, if only one person is involved, how can communication take place? Yes, it can take place. Yes, it can happen. How? You can think, you can reflect, right? So before taking a decision, before whether you to join a particular course or not, to take up BTech or not, to take up MBBS or not, to take up MBA or not, you have to decide, right? You think in yourself, so you talk to yourself. That is intrapersonal communication. So decision making, problem solving happens through intrapersonal communication. So you weigh the pros and cons and then you decide. So intrapersonal communication is very, very important. And intrapersonal communication is part of the reflective mode of communication. And after that comes interpersonal communication. In interpersonal communication, two people are involved. So one will be the sender, the other will be the receiver. So one is interviewer, the other one is interviewee. The one is counselor, the other one is counselee. So two people are involved. That is interpersonal communication. And then after that, you have group communication. Example is group discussion. More than two people are involved in immediate settings. And then comes public communication. Public communication, mainly your presentation and public speeches, where there are many people, but still, one person takes the center stage. And then finally, you have mass communication. So mass communication means you are communicating to millions and billions of people. So you cannot, they're not in the immediate settings. So you have to use a media, you have to use a channel. That media is called mass media. So you have two types of mass media. One is print media, the other one is electronic media. So in print media, you have newspapers, you have pamphlets, you have brochures, you have magazines, etc. And in electronic media, you have TV and radio, and most importantly, internet, the new media. So this is all about mass communication. So in mass communication, you have reporting. So everybody nowadays, with the advent of social media, everybody is using Facebook, everybody is using Instagram. Everybody is a reporter, everybody is a journalist now. So you have to understand what news is, because we are all the disseminators of news. So news, what is news? News is something which is new. News is something that comes from north, east, west, and south. So news has to be new. News has to come from all directions. And news has to answer 5 W's and 1 H. What, where, when, why, who, and how. So these are the questions you have to answer, not only when it comes to news, but also when it comes to your studies. And you have another type of writing called report writing. So in report writing, abstract is the index of the report. So in abstract is like a trailer of a movie. And then comes keywords, the important words in your paper, and then comes introduction, and then literature review, and then research methodology, and then comes your conclusion, your discussions, your results, your suggestions, your recommendations, finally references and bibliography. So this is how you frame a report. And also writing a memo, writing a circular, writing an email. Writing an email is very important. And similarly for you students, resume writing. We'll have another session especially on resume writing. Nowadays, remember the difference between a resume, a CV, and a bio, is very little. But if you understand the nuance, then you will be successful. A resume is only 1 page. See to it that your resume doesn't cross 1 page, because the HR, the recruiters, the HR, they don't have time. They get millions and thousands and lakhs of applicants. It's very difficult for them to go through everything. And remember that your resume has to be creative. It has to be eye pleasing. And remember, there are no hard and fast rules for writing a resume. If you make it creative, if you portray your strengths, that is more than enough. That is more than enough. Nowadays, see to it that your resume is not just a blank paper, a white and a black and white paper. No, no, no. Your resume has to be interactive. It has to have URLs. It has to have Flash. It has to have multimedia. Create it using Photoshop. And nowadays, I'm telling you, Photoshop is the basic need. You cannot escape it. So resume writing is very important for all of us. So when this is one classification of communication. And when it comes to the second classification of communication, communication is divided into two parts. So this classification is based on how we transmit the message. The previous classification was based on how many people are involved. So here, how we transmit the message, according to how we transmit it, communication is divided into verbal and non-verbal. So verbal communication involves listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Out of listening, speaking, reading, and writing, listening is the most important. Why? Because when we come out of our mother's womb, we listen. We learn by listening. We learn the language by listening. So first we listen, and then we speak, and then we learn how to read, and then we learn how to write. So listening is the most important. So if you want to become proficient in English language, remember to listen, 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 listen as much as possible. Get a Netflix subscription. Watch all English soap operas that are available. Don't waste this opportunity. This time won't come back again. So remember to listen as much as possible. Surround yourself, then you can acquire the language. And remember, you can only learn the language in a stress-free environment. So see to it that you get entertained while you're learning the language. So that is very, very essential. Okay. So LSRW. So when it comes to speaking, you have presentation skills, because as engineering students, you have to give a lot of seminars, a lot of presentations. So I'll give you some tips for presentation. So first thing is practice. Practice before a mirror, practice before your friends, before your siblings. Practice, practice, practice. Practice, if you get an opportunity, practice. And then you have to transform your nervous energy. Definitely, if you're addressing hundreds of people, definitely there's a lot of nervousness. You try to transform this nervousness into enthusiasm, into energy. Definitely that can happen. Remember. And then you have to attend other presentations, attend as many presentations as possible. And, be part of clubs. You have JCI, you have Rotary, you have Lions Club, you have PRSI, Toastmasters, and also attend as many seminars, workshops, conferences as possible. And remember, arrive early, meet and greet people. If you arrive early to a presentation, and if you start, meeting and greeting people, you can understand their needs, you can adjust yourself to the surroundings, and your mind will be confident, because when you're addressing people who are already known, you're free, you're not stressed. So there'll be no apprehensions, there'll be no anxiety, there'll be no phobia. Remember that. And adjust your surroundings. It'll make you easy. It'll make it easy for you to adjust and adapt and adopt. So everything is important. And use positive visualization. Visualize positively. Always think of a positive outcome. That is very important. I think you heard about this book called The Secret. Right? The Secret books tells that if you can attract things to you only if you visualize. Right? And remember that the audience will show sympathy. Even if you stutter, if you stammer, even if you give a very long pause, remember that audience are sympathetic. They will understand you. They'll understand your point of view. Don't worry. Take deep breaths. That is very important so that your mind relaxes, your heart rate reduces, your blood pressure reduces, your mind focuses, right? Sip water. Don't drink too much water, otherwise you have to take a loo break. So sip water. Smile. So because smile is very important, remember, we humans, we have an innate tendency to mimic others, to imitate others. So if you as a presenter, if you as a speaker, if you as a sender, if you smile, automatically the audience will smile. So there's a beautiful song by Boyzone called Smile and Everlasting Smile. I would like to sing it for you. Smile, an everlasting smile. A smile can bring you near to me. Don't ever let me find you gone, 'cause that would bring it here to me. This world has lost its glory. Let's start a brand new story now, my love. You think that I don't even mean a single word I say. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. So remember, it's only words, and words are all we have, to take people's heart, to attract them, to inspire them, to persuade them. It is very important, right? So smile and then speak slowly. Why you have to speak slowly? Because English is not our mother tongue. So if you speak slowly, I'm not talking about the volume, I'm talking about the pace. If you speak slowly, what happens is you'll get ample time to think about the next sentence. So speak slowly and then see to it that it is two-way engagement. Make it interactive, make it entertaining, tell a story, crack a joke, make it humorous, and then use a power stance. Abdul Kalam, he had a power stance. Mother Teresa, she had a power stance. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he had a power stance. So develop your own power stance. Then you will stand out. That will be your USP, unique selling point, which separates you, which differentiates you from others. So that is very, very, very important for success. Okay. So LSRW, reading, and then finally writing. So for writing, definitely I would want you guys, if you're interested to develop your resumes, or if you want to know email writing and all, definitely I'm willing to teach you separately in separate sessions. So today's session is just an overview. I'm just giving a glance of communication and what are the important aspects that you can develop. So that is the main idea, that's the main focus of today's presentation. So after verbal communication, you have non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication means body language, one which doesn't have words, body language. So when you talk about body language, the first is kinesics, Kinesics, kinesics. It's talking about the kinetic movements of your body. So in kinesics, you have eye contact. So what if you don't maintain eye contact? If you don't maintain eye contact, it shows that you're not confident. Either you're lying or maybe you're not interested. So maintain eye contact. Give a glance at everybody. If you maintain eye contact, it shows that you're confident. It shows your confidence. So always maintain eye contact. Okay, that's the first thing. And second thing, your facial expressions. Always have a smile on your face. And then your gestures. See, remember that your hand gestures, your head gestures should complement your verbal message. This is for yes, this is for no. Don't confuse people, right? So have an optimal standard gesture for every message that you would like to convey. And then posture. See to it that your posture is erect, you're straight. It shows confidence. You see the defense personnel, they always have erect posture. From Navy, from Army, from Air Force, they always have erect posture. From police also, they have erect posture. It shows their confidence. People will respect you. So that is very important. And also, after kinesics, you have something called proxemics. It talks about proximity. So how close you stand to another person. The distance between the sender and the receiver talks about the relation. So you have different types of spacing. So if he's your friend, the spacing is little less. If he's a stranger, the spacing is little more. So that is proxemics. So based on the space you maintain, based on the proximity, you can talk about the relation between two individuals. And then chronomics. Chronomics talks about time. By just following time without speaking anything, you're communicating a lot. If the presentation starts at 3 o'clock, if you're here at 3, then it shows that you're on time. If you're here at 2:55, you're interested. If you're here at 2:45, you're very interested. If you're here by 3:05, maybe some work. If you're here at 3:15, you're here for attendance. Remember that by just following time, you're communicating a lot. And remember, your time is also important. If the presentation starts at 3, don't be here by 2:30 because your time also counts. Don't just sit idle, do something, learn something, be busy, acquire knowledge. Okay, so that is very important. So we have to be transformational leaders. I want everybody, I want all of us to be transformational leaders. And remember, prejudice is our main villain. Don't be prejudiced. Don't discriminate against anyone. That is most important. And then after that comes haptics. Haptics talks about your handshakes and your hugs. So have a firm handshake. If you are giving hand like this, it shows that you're dominant. If you're giving hand like this, it shows that you're submissive. Your hand should be vertical, perpendicular, and a firm handshake. It shows your confidence. And also hug. When you're hugging the same gender, you can hug like this. If it is opposite gender, your hug should be side hug. Always remember that. So after that comes your appearance and grooming. Appearance, the dress that you wear, the hair, how you combed your hair, everything is important. No, your appearance is your first impression. And remember, the first impression has to be the best impression. So on the top, when you're wearing a shirt, see to it that it is in the light color. And when you're wearing a pant, see to it is in the dark color. Light color shirt with a dark color coat and a dark color pant. So that is suitable. And see to it that your hair is groomed well. That is also very important because people when they see you, they're actually looking at your appearance. And after that comes olfactics. Olfactics talks about the smell. If you're smelling good, people will come to you. If you're not smelling good, they'll maintain that distance. So olfactics, smell is also very, very, very important. And remember, because we are engineering students, you are engineering students, your goals have to be SMART. SMART. SMART means your goal has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be action oriented, and finally it has to be realistic. So set SMART goals. And also everybody, I want you guys to do SWOT analysis, SWOT, SWOT analysis. Identify your strengths, work on your weaknesses, understand your opportunities, and be cautious of your threats. Be very cautious of your threats. Okay. So when I talk about opportunities, how many, it's very important because I don't want, anyways, this is an online session. I don't think interaction will suffice now. Maybe after the presentation, we'll have an interaction. So I want everybody to create LinkedIn accounts, LinkedIn. LinkedIn accounts. You must have LinkedIn accounts. Facebook, Insta, they're of no use unless you have business Facebook or business Insta from which you're earning money. So Telugulo చెప్పాలంటే దిష్టి తప్ప దాని వల్ల ఉపయోగం లేవండి. But if you have LinkedIn, you're guaranteed a job. Every day you'll find at least 10 new jobs related to your field in LinkedIn. So that is the thing. So in LinkedIn, don't post unofficial things, only official things, and see to it that you create a beautiful LinkedIn profile, because your HR, your probable HRs will look at your LinkedIn profile, and your LinkedIn link has to be given in your resume too. So remember to create a LinkedIn profile immediately. And also, because of this pandemic, we are living with this pandemic from past 2 years. It's already 2 years now. Now we are used to it, and we have to get used to blended learning also. So now we have a lot of massive open online courses, MOOCs, that are offered by EDX, that are offered by FutureLearn, Coursera, and NPTEL. In EDX, we have you courses by Stanford, Yale universities. If you do it, at a low cost, you'll be getting certification. Similarly, in NPTEL, National Program on Technology Enabled Learning, IITs are offering courses. Do them, online courses. Get credits. They're very important. They are a value addition to your resume. And when I talk about CV is for experienced professionals, and CV can span up from 10 to 15 pages. A biodata is basically something that Manogna just read. So that is my biodata. A biodata is a narrative form. So I have authored 27 research books and 60 poetry books. So I love writing. I love writing a lot. So I strongly believe that there's something called emotional intelligence. So if you want to you know uh, if you want to showcase your emotions, if you want that, we call it catharsis. So so to stop catharsis from turning into catastrophe, pen is mightier than sword. Use pen, write your emotions. So what I do is, whenever I become emotional, I start writing, and it just goes with the flow. So there is no writer's block when I'm emotional. So emotional intelligence is very important nowadays. We have to understand, identify our emotions. We have to understand our emotions, and we have to control our emotions. We have to identify our others emotions, and we have to base our conversation based on that. And most important thing is we have to sympathize and empathize. What is the difference between sympathy and empathy? Sympathy, the difference between sympathy and empathy is, if you sympathize, you don't understand others suffering. But when you are empathizing, you can actually feel others suffering, because you have already been through. So sympathy and empathy. But nowadays, apathy is growing. We are not, we are reading news of murders, we are reading news of suicide, but it became a daily routine for us. And we are not, a, it's not actually opening us. It is not actually emotionalizing us. We need that emotional connect. That is very, very important. So be sensitive is what I would like, I want everybody to be. Be sensitive. So that is the most important thing I want to tell you guys. And in when you're doing your SWOT, when talking about opportunities, you're doing online courses, you have created a LinkedIn profile. Beautiful, wonderful. But nowadays, remember that data analysis is the future. Data analysis is the future. So regression, right? ANOVA analysis of variance, median mode, standard deviation. So all these things. So these are basic stats. Data is the new oil. So if you know basic stats, there's one program called R programming. Download that software. That is easy. That is free also. You can download that software, and you'll find tutorials on YouTube, R programming tutorials. It is similar to C language. It is very simple. Learn R programming, and if you learn R programming, I'm telling you, your salary starts from 60,000 per month, even if you're a fresher. That's why I'm telling you, data is the new oil. Start developing interest in stats. So mean, median, mode, all these things, that the things that you have learned in your schooling, You understand that you'll start to understand that they are very very important, especially data analysis is important for marketing, digital marketing. So remember all this correlation. It's also useful for your personal research, also data analysis, and also to secure a job as a data analyst. So there are a lot of opportunities. So you need not get a job in your core field. You can get a job in any field. You can even become a motivational speaker. Nowadays, even if you can become a painter and earn, you can knit and earn, you can cook and earn, you can start your own restaurant. It's not compulsory for you to, if you're doing triple, it's not compulsory for you to become an electrical engineer. There are a lot of fields. I know many people, who have done their BTech triple or EC or computer science, and after that, they have done their MBAs, or they have done their Master of Arts in US or in India. So you can always shift your field, remember. But always remember to follow your passion. Be a believer. There's a beautiful song called Believer, Believer. First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way the things have been. Oh, the way the things have been. Oh, second thing, second, don't you tell me what you think that I could be. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of the sea. Oh, but the master of the sea. Oh, I was broken from a young age, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, taking my lesson from the pain, seeing the beauty through the pain. You made me a believer. Believe in yourself. I'll tell you, the God, when we talk about Aham Brahmasmi, the God is in us. We are the God. So how we get that hope? The hope is here. The God is here. Tune it, and definitely you'll be successful. Be a believer. You made me, we'll become a believers. So that is the thing. So all the apprehensions, all the phobias, all the anxieties, all the stress, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We are not afraid, we are confident, we are confident today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we are confident today. Develop your confidence, develop your self esteem, estimate yourself in high regard, understand your likes and dislikes, work towards your likes, work towards your strengths. So that is more important. Love everybody. Yesterday, Valentine's Day, Feb 14th. Valentine's Day is not just about couples. It's about loving the world, spreading peace and harmony and love and universal brotherhood and sisterhood. So I guess you guys know Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore has written a beautiful poem where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So that has to be, our definition of a beautiful, of an idealistic society. So these are things which we have to keep motivating ourselves. We think that someone will come and motivate. No, 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 no. Everything is in us. We are our motivators. We are our transformers. Be a transformer. Be a motivator. Rock it, man. Rock it. Rock the world. Don't be afraid of anyone. Let people laugh. Don't be afraid. Don't care. Do what you want, but follow law. Following law is important. At the same time, following your passion is important. The things that you get when you sleep are dreams. The things that won't let you sleep are what? A what? A what? Are your goals. సో పడుకున్నప్పుడు కళలు వస్తాయి, పడుకోనివ్వనివి కళలు. సో దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. కాగితంబునందు కలిగిన అక్షరాలు చదివినంత ధరిని చతురుడగున, అక్షరంబునందు అర్ధంబు నెరుగుచూ చదివినట్టి వాడి చతురుడగున. సో read between the lines, understand the inner meaning. That is very important, right? So see, one thing, these are all the things, all the soft skills are already present in you. Now I'm just trying to remember, because we forget it. We sometimes we forget, because we have a saying that God is in us. We forget that. We fail to recognize that God's energy is in us because we are his creation. So similarly, soft skills are in us. We have to just identify them. So that is the main objective. That is the main idea, right? So reasoning is very important. Analysis is very important. Question everything. Don't accept things as they are. You have to question. Be question, and learn as much as possible. Life is short. Make full use of it. Remember that people should remember you forever. You have to make that mark. You can win Padma Shri, you can win Sahitya Academy Award. Why not? You can even win Nobel Prize. It's not impossible. Nothing is impossible, man. Everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. So with this, I would like to conclude. So we'll have an interaction. If you have any questions, I'm open to that. Any questions, any interactions, any things that you would like to suggest, or that you would like to learn? I'm basically a soft skills trainer. I'm here to motivate you guys. I'm always in Andhra University to motivate, to transform, to make students employable. At the end of the day, the main purpose of joining Andhra University is to get a job, not just a normal job, a job that can give you the money that is required for you to reach your goals and ambitions. So that is very important. So employability skills is something that I hone to. I'm also a linguist. I'm also working on Gadaba language. I'm trying to, because Gadaba language is an endangered language. I'm working on, to preserve it. So I do a lot of things. So I also teach English grammar. So in English, you have nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, interjections, conjunctions, articles, tenses, all this grammar. See, remember that, don't go to grammar, because we are able to speak Telugu, our mother tongue. We are able to speak Hindi, our mother tongue. We are able to speak Tamil, our mother tongue. But we have never learned its grammar. So if you start learning a language through its grammar, you can never actually learn the grammar, learn the language. You will only learn the grammar. Remember that. Americans, they don't know English grammar, but they're very fluent. Britishers, they don't know English, they're very fluent. Australians, they don't know English grammar, they're very fluent. So grammar is not important. Just, expose yourself to the language. That is very important. English is the lingua franca, language of global business. So English is a link language. In India, you go to Tamil Nadu, people won't understand Hindi. You have to speak in English. So English is international language. It's global language. There are more than 3 billion speakers of English, native and non-native speakers together. So learn this. It's an easy language. It's not difficult. We have mastered the most difficult language, that is Telugu. So let's master English too. So any questions, any interactions? Let's make it two-way. Don't be quiet. You're all toppers, right? You're all toppers. You're all succeeders, right? You're all leaders. Come on, speak out. You can even talk to me in Telugu or Hindi, any language. Come on, speak out, guys. Don't be quiet.
Good evening, sir. It's me, Akila, sir.
Hi, Akila. You're here
Yes,
again.
sir. Yes, sir. I was also in the session.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
really enjoyed the session today, sir.
Thank you, Akila.
Even your songs, I always feel inspired when you talk.
Thank you.
And you have talked about R programming, no, sir.
Yes.
What is it about? I just want to know further about it. Can you please give me a little
Sure,
introduction?
definitely. So R programming is basically for data analysis. There's something called SPSS, Statistical Package for Social Sciences. There's something called Stata, or you have something called Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is used for data analysis, as you know. So R programming is also used for data analysis. R program can handle big data. Excel cannot handle big data, but R programming can handle big data. It is like C language, it is like Python. It is very easy. It is, you can download it from Google. It is used for data analysis. I'm telling you, data analyst, will be paid at least 60,000. I'm talking about the fresher. A fresher is getting at least 60,000 if you're good at R programming.
Okay, sir. I'll definitely check about it. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Akila. I'm extremely sorry for the noise. There's some construction going on near my house. So that's the main reason for all this noise. So we have noise, we have to filter out all the noise. In life also we have a lot of noise, lot of disturbances, lot of distractions. Especially our mobile phone is our biggest distraction actually. And also it is the biggest source of information too. So we have to know how to use it wisely. So any more interactions? Don't be silent, guys. Come on, speak out. I want you guys to speak because
Sir,
I. Yes.
sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, how to overcome the study phobia?
How to overcome what, sir? How to overcome
Study phobia.
which phobia?
Study.
Can you type it, sir? I'm not able to. It's not
Education.
audible.
Are you education phobia?
Hesitation.
Yeah.
Hesitation.
Education.
So just can you type it? I'm not able to get you. Can you type it in the messages?
Education, sir. Study.
Education phobia.
Yes.
Education phobia.
Yes.
So what do you mean by education phobia, sir?
Education means study, sir.
Study phobia. Why
Uh,
we have phobia for studies? See, one thing, sir, I'll tell you, I understood your point. So
yes.
basically, why we have phobia for studies, it's not phobia, it is an aversion. Why we have aversion is because we don't have that emotional connect. Sir, మనం సినిమాకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు when we go to a movie, we are enjoying, we are heartful, we are open. When we are going to a restaurant, we are enjoying, we are heartful, we are open. But when we are going to a class, we are not happy, we are not heartful, we are not open. So why సినిమాకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు why are we enjoying? Why are we eager? Why are we curious? Why are we happy? Why are we having the best time? Why are we laughing? Why are we enjoying? సో సినిమాకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తున్నాం, రెస్టారెంట్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తున్నాం. బట్ when we are entering a classroom, we are not enjoying. Why? Because we don't have that emotional connect with the subject. So we have to develop that connect with the subject. That is very important. You have to see your subject like a movie. Then the main problem here is most of the engineering students, because I also come from engineering background, most of the engineering students, we lack, I'm not talking about others, I also, we lack basics. When we lack basics, we cannot follow the other classes. So because of which we that link, the bridge, the gap is actually widened. When the gap is widened, we have to narrow the gap. So how to narrow the gap is to make students study the basics, to make them understand the basics through illustrations. That is very important. Illustrations are very important. Through using all the audiovisual technology that we have, through augmentations, we have to make them aware of the basics. Once they're aware of the basics, and if they feel that this is their subject of interest, so definitely they will overcome that education phobia that you're talking about. So we have to develop that emotional connect, and it is in the hands of the teacher. The teacher is the facilitator. So don't just deliver a lecture, facilitate discussion among students. So nowadays teachers are not called teachers, sir. Teachers are called facilitators. So through this, definitely we can overcome education phobia. So any more questions?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Kusuma.
This is Kusma. Sir, it was a great session and I liked it very much.
Thank
And
you, thank
I
you,
would,
Kusuma.
sir, I was sometimes I was motivated to study. I would prepare a timetable, but I was not consistent in following that, sir. How to maintain consistency?
So yes, maintaining consistency is also very important. See, remember, uh, if it is the day before the exam, for example, రేపు ఎగ్జామ్ ఉంది, the day before, today, ఇవాళ మనం కూర్చున్నాము, రేపు ఎగ్జామ్ ఉంది అంటే definitely the whole day will spend for the exam, right? So we won't be having any diversions and distractions. So how to maintain that consistency? You can only maintain that consistency when you're actually involved in the subject. So if you are doing it by force, definitely that consistency will be affected. So for example, if a serial TV serial starts at 7:30, by 7:30 you are there. Sai serial starts at 7 o'clock. My mother sits before the TV by 6:55. Why she is maintaining that consistency is because she is interested, she is involved, she doesn't want to miss. So all these things are very important. Concern, consideration, and concentration. So these three aspects are very important to maintain consistency. And remember that you're doing it for your future, you're doing it for your own good. You're doing it so that you can become a better individual. You're doing it so that you can become another Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So for that you're doing it. So through which, remember that every day you are starting afresh. Every day you're starting new. No, there are a lot of demotivating factors. Don't go by that. Keep continuing. You'll have a lot of things. Now you have pandemic. After pandemic, you'll have something else. Then you have something else. Don't worry about anything. Just keep motivating yourself until you reach a goal. So that is very important. And surround yourself with people who motivate you. Create a motivating, transformational environment. Definitely you'll maintain consistency.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Kusuma. So any more questions? Anything you would like to add? Yes, Kirti.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Now I'm completing my bachelor's in economics from Andhra University. Like
Okay,
next year,
wonderful.
I want to go for master's in economics abroad, and I have
Mhm.
to put a statement of purpose.
Okay.
And as you told, like doing courses from Coursera and etc., I'm already pursuing them, but
Yes.
I'm not sure of what to put in the extracurricular or voluntary services column of the statement of purpose.
So you're talking about extracurricular activities, right?
Yes, sir, because I heard that to put for like abroad universities, they give a lot of detail on extracurricular or voluntary services.
Definitely, extracurricular activities are very important, especially if you have college clubs. So, what are the college club activities or fests that you have participated in? Or have you represented your university in lawn tennis or badminton or cricket? Something like that.
Sir, I'm very bad with sports, no sports
Or
at all.
maybe you're a singer, maybe you play veena, maybe you play guitar, something. You should
I
be
can
having
play
something,
keyboard,
right? That
but then it's all informal. Like I have just studied it since childhood. Some class beside my home and all, but never formally went to some club or etc.
okay. So basically, what you do in your free time, especially what is your hobby?
I read a lot of books
Okay.
and I play keyboard as I told. Like there is a
Wonderful.
music lab which
Okay.
is just beside my home. Like when auntie teaches me, a neighbor auntie, like since few years, but I cannot
Okay.
put that there. So
See, remember that uh, keyboard. That is more than enough actually. So if you're playing keyboard, that's the best skill. and you can compose music also if you're good at keyboard. So
But I
definitely,
don't have a certificate, sir. Like,
you want
what
a
steps should I
certificate.
follow?
Actually, there
Yes.
is a certification in EDX, right? On keyboard playing, there's a certification.
Okay,
So
but can I
just
just
don't
put
go to
both?
NPTEL. You have EDX, you have Coursera, you have FutureLearn. There is certification for keyboard actually. You can do that. And also, once you contact me, I'll give you the number of one person, one guy who is actually taking care of the certifications in keyboard. You'll be directly certified by University of Berkeley University of Music.
Oh,
So
okay,
you'll
sir.
be
Thank you.
graded actually. You'll be directly graded. So he's taking care of the grading part from Vizag. So I know that guy. I can introduce you to him definitely.
Oh, that will be awesome. And sir, what about voluntary services? Because when I saw like example SOPs of those people who are keeping, they have like a lot of voluntary services since years, like
Yes.
2 years working in some blood donation camp or 2 years working in some orphanage, etc. What should
Hmm.
I do?
So voluntary services definitely, NGOs. Maybe are you part of Andhra University's NSS,
No, sir.
NCC?
No, no, no. Like I'm not at all an outward sports person at all. Like I don't
Okay.
generally go out on
So one
sports.
thing is, if you're part of Andhra University NSS, are you in the final year now?
Yes, sir.
Final semester. So you'll be done this semester with
No, no.
university.
Like in, I guess in 2023 it will be done.
23. So you have one more year. So why don't you enroll
Yes,
for
sir.
Andhra University NSS? You have
But
NSS.
I'm not very good with sports, sir, like
No,
running,
NSS is
walking.
not sports. NSS is voluntary activity. Cleaning, hygiene, sanitation and all. Sanitization and all. So NSS is not sports. NSS is basically voluntary activity where you're helping. So where you're being part of service activities. So
Okay,
you
so
can
that
enroll for that.
certificate can be put.
Yes, NSS certificate is very valid. Andhra University NSS got the best NSS award, best NSS chapter award from the President of India. So it's very valid. And remember that your statement of purpose is the most important thing. Forget your marks, forget everything. If your statement of purpose is good, then you're guaranteed admission into London School of Economics.
Yes, sir, but that is the only tension now. Like, it is like very difficult for me to gather these extras, especially. Like
Yes.
marks and all is good, but these
Yes, marks.
extras.
I'm telling you, Kirti, marks and all are always secondary. Remember, even if you score 100 out of 100, it doesn't matter. The thing that matters is your statement of purpose and your extracurriculars. That's what, abroad, when you're applying abroad, that's what matters actually. And also your IELTS score, International English Language Testing System. Try to get an 8.
Yeah, I'm actually taking Duolingo because I heard that Duolingo is easy in grades. Like it just gives easy grades,
Hmm.
and like the exam pattern is easy they told. But
Yes. So see, remember, you start focusing on IELTS. Maybe at least in your second attempt, if you can score 8 in IELTS, the chances for you to get into premier institutes will increase.
so
So
is IELTS very difficult compared to Duolingo and other exams? Like
no,
there's TOEFL in
Duolingo is not
Duolingo.
it's not valid. IELTS is valid. IELTS is not very difficult. See, IELTS they test on your listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You will have a writing activity. You will have a reading comprehension activity. You will have a speaking activity separately, and then you will have a listening activity where you have to listen and answer. So LSRW skills will be assessed. So IELTS is very easy. You will also find a course for IELTS in EDX or Coursera or FutureLearn. Do that course. Also, there are a lot of institutes in Visakhapatnam offering IELTS course.
I
So
actually been preparing for this English exam since like first year because since first year I had this idea to go abroad for my masters.
hmm,
But I'll be applying in December to get into like next year academic year.
yes,
But then from when should I start giving these attempts of IELTS?
actually you can take IELTS maybe after this semester, maybe during June, August, July, August you can take IELTS because IELTS will be
That will be
valid for
my
two
last.
years.
Yes, yes. Acha, okay, sir.
So you can
Sorry
take
for
it,
taking
means
so much
because
time.
why I'm asking you to take it during July August is because sometimes you need 2 to 3 attempts to get an optimal score of 8. IELTS is out of 9. If you score 9 out of 9, that is the best thing you can get into any institute. So at least if you can score 7.5 and 8, you can get into all the premier institutes. So, and
Okay,
also
sir.
your
I'll just
SOP and along with the IELTS. So SOP, I'm telling you, if your SOP is good, they won't look at anything else. Only SOP. Your statement of purpose will make a difference.
so like I've got good internships, I've done specialization courses from IBS, I have certification courses. But the only problem is this voluntary or extracurricular, and I'm very confused about that. I'll
Don't
obviously
don't
apply
worry, don't
it.
worry about that. Enroll in Andhra University's NSS. You have Andhra University NSS office here.
Okay.
Enroll in Andhra University NSS, get a certification. Okay, there are a lot of activities going on in Andhra University NSS. Andhra University NSS is actually in South Campus where your economics building is. So you
Yes,
can
sir.
definitely enroll because you have one more year, right? So
Yes,
definitely
sir. But
enroll,
only 1 year
enroll
will it be
immediately.
sufficient?
Enroll immediately as soon as possible. So
Okay, sir. So
okay.
only that will be enough for voluntary services?
That is more than enough. That is more than enough. Because NSS itself is a voluntary organization. It's a voluntary thing. So it's a national social service scheme. NSS means. So
Okay.
definitely voluntary activity. It is completely voluntary activity. See, basically in the text message, I'll be giving you my number. So any guy, if you
Okay.
guys have any doubt, so definitely you can contact me. This is my WhatsApp. Just messaged you guys. So if you
Okay,
guys
sir.
have any questions, any more questions, you can definitely WhatsApp me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
So anything else? Anyone else? I'm here for you guys. Any questions, any doubts, any suggestions, anything, definitely, please open up. See, utilize this opportunity. Opportunities won't come again and again. This is the time to shine. Student, how to plan studies in IAS? Okay. So see, IAS is basically something that requires lot of effort. And first thing is to choose a subject. So choosing a subject. So what are you currently pursuing now? Are you in BTech? Are you doing BTech now? So you can, I have given you my WhatsApp number, no? So what I'll do is, if you are interested, you WhatsApp me. I'll immediately, I will guide you to that person, who is well versed in training people in civils, IS. And see, IS is not difficult. Definitely, it's not difficult. If you are into your subject, it is very easy. So choosing the right subject, will make a lot of difference. You're doing BTech, okay? So you can contact me. I will direct you to that person who can guide you better in IAS. So the first thing is, being good at current affairs, reading newspaper every day, being good at the language, and second thing is choosing a subject. My suggestion is choose either sociology or philosophy. It'll be easy for you to crack. Yes,
Hello, sir.
definitely, guide. Yes, yes.
I attended your last classes, so it's amazing, sir.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
Uh, yes. My only doubt is that after doing BTech, is it better to just go into the jobs and do it, or do a extra degree like MTech or MS or anything else like that?
See, basically, are you interested in your bachelor's that you're currently doing? Is it your interest area?
Yes, sir.
So if it is your interest area, my suggestion is to go for MTech. If it is not your interest area, then work for 2 to 3 years and then do an MBA.
Okay, sir.
So so that's my suggestion. See, if it is your interest area, if you would like to go into research, or if you want to get into better jobs, maybe government jobs, continue with MTech definitely. Don't stop with BTech because nowadays everybody has a BTech.
Yes, sir. The
So
problem is that I was from CSE department, so I'm feeling so worried because all the other branches are going to write gate exam or anything else like that. So it's not an easy thing to get into it, to get a good college. So getting a good college always matters, sir. Or if it is even an average college, doing MTech is important, or doing a better
Yes.
job is good. I'm unable to get it
See,
answer.
I'll give you a suggestion. See, if you're getting a job in Hyderabad, for example, Osmania University is offering evening MTech courses for students who are working professionals actually. So if you're working somewhere, you can pursue your MTech evening course. Similarly, if you get a job in Visakhapatnam, Andhra University is offering evening MTech courses. So definitely for working professionals also, IITs, IIMs, central universities, state universities, they're offering evening MTechs. So my suggestion is, if this is your perspective, it's always good to get into a job because you will get a lot of experience, a lot of exposure if you get into a job. But if you want to get into research, if you're really interested in getting into research, my suggestion is MTech. But if your interest is not research, and if you want to get into job only, if you want to get employed, then go into job, go for a job. You can always pursue your MTech. While working also, there are a lot of part-time MTechs, evening MTechs that are offered by IITs and also premier institutes in India. In any city that you're working, if you're working in Bangalore, Hyderabad, or even Visakhapatnam, you can pursue evening MTech if you're a working professional. So there are a lot of opportunities.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So any more questions? Okay, guys, I think we are done for the day. So if you have any questions, you can always WhatsApp me. Thank you so much. I thank Professor Ramasudha Garu and Dr. Padma Garu for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much, guys, for your patience. I always tell that speaking is easy, listening is difficult. గంట సేపు మీరు ఇంత పేషెంట్గా కూర్చుని వినడం, it is not easy. I can understand because I have been in your shoes. I can empathize with you guys. So thank you for your patient listening. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Take care. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
See you guys.
Participants, please don't leave. You need to submit your feedback. I was waiting for some more for questions, but sir has left. So I hope the session was so lively and useful. So I have pasted in the chat box. Please submit the feedback. It will be considered as your attendance for today. So thank you. And tomorrow the session will start at 9:30. Make sure you all join by 9:30 sharp. Thank you.